Welcome to Canucks After Dark. Here are your hosts, Parker Hallowell and Clay Emo.
Good evening, Vancouver. Canucks After Dark, Monday, November the 8th. Wait, there's no barrier here. We live in person in beautiful Surrey, British Columbia, for this lovely episode of Canucks After Dark. After 3 games this week from the Canucks, where they take down the Rangers in thrilling fashion, lose to the Predators in a game that was terrible, and then go out and sort of run the Stars out of town. Last night, as always, but for the first time at the same time, joined in person by Canuck Clay. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Parker, I'm thrilled that I'm here.
You're over leveling a little bit.
Where the magic happens. This
Yes.
is pretty cool. You have like 8 screens. I can't find myself on any of them, but that's fine.
That's your go-to.
Yeah. This is beautiful. Thank you for trusting me in your home.
Absolutely. No, it's good to have you here. This was the easiest way to do it based on your
I wasn't going to
plans.
make it home.
He wouldn't have made it home in time. He had obligations in Surrey, so we are here in person. This is going to be an every time thing, but once in a while we'll get this done. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got the 3 Canucks games, as we mentioned, 4 upcoming this week before our next episode, so a lot of previewing to do. And our main focus, a lot of stuff we have to talk about is going to have to do with the penalty kill and how terrible it's been, and the power play, how terrible it was until last night. So we'll get into that. We'll get into sort of the stock watch on Travis Green, because obviously opinions fluctuate by the minute here. We'll get going from there.
So Parker, just so I know, what should I be looking at? That camera up there?
You can look right here.
Oh,
that'll do it for you.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're getting this all sorted out here.
That part wasn't good for the podcast, but
that's
okay.
fine.
Whatever.
It's if you guys are listening, maybe go watch it on the YouTube. It's usually linked in the podcast notes, so you can just find it right there. All right. Where do you want to start tonight? Do you want to do our normal, where we sort of go over the last week?
Yeah. I'm a chronological guy, Parker.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Absolutely. All right. Let's start off then with Canucks Rangers back last Tuesday. This is a game I was lucky enough to be in attendance for, second row, right in front. I made eye contact with JT Miller.
I was making eye contact with my bowling ball. Thanks, man. Yeah.
You were focused. You were dialed in. So this is a game that started out slow. The Canucks didn't look great. Rangers scored twice in the second period, and it's looking like, oh boy, Canucks give out the first goal again, which has happened, I think, all but 2 games this season. And it's looking like another night where the Canucks are going to just sort of fall to the wayside. Nothing much is going to happen. And then we get a goal from JT Miller early in the third to sort of get some energy going. Then Vasily Podkolzin, who only knows how to score beautiful goals, apparently, scores about 5 minutes into the third period, and then we go to overtime. But before we go to overtime, Thatcher Demko.
Yes. So I'm watching the game, Parker, with no sound at the bowling alley, right? And I'm trying to bowl well, and I'm trying to watch, and then I see them go down 2-0. I can't hear any of the commentary. I just see that it's 2 power play goals. Here we go again. And then, you mentioned Miller, you mentioned Podkolzin, who were the goal scorers, but I guess it was Connor Garland that really got things going. So I don't know what it was like in the arena.
Yeah.
But on TV, he looked awesome.
Yeah, he's so good at getting control of the puck, keeping control of the puck, just maintaining possession, really.
Yeah.
And everything sort of fell apart as the Canucks go down 5-on-3 in the third period, and it's looking like, oh boy, they're going to score here. And they very well could have, and they probably should have, and it would have been an entirely different result, and that Predators game would have stung even more. But Thatcher Demko with the losing the blocker, and then stacking the pads, and then the scorpion kick, and it was just unreal. Everyone was sort of just in awe at the arena. Everyone's like...
Now, was that on your side of the arena, or was that on the other side?
That was on my side of the arena. So that was the first time we saw anything interesting, because all of the goals had been on the other side of the arena at that point.
Wow.
And everyone just sort of was like... everyone just sort of stood up, was just like, wow. Okay, if you want to do that, Thatcher, that's fine. And then overtime, of course, JT Miller gets the breakaway, gets stopped, picks up his own rebound, wraps it around, tucks it in. and place was crazy. People were so fired up.
Oh, so they swap ends between.
They swap ends.
So that's why you saw
now,
not only the scramble, but you saw the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goal is interesting because he comes in he makes a pretty good move. Shesterkin makes a great save.
Yeah.
But then I think didn't the Rangers defenseman try and poke the puck or something?
Yeah, Shesterkin kind of just lost it in his
Right.
pads, and he was sort of beside the net at that point, and
Yeah.
Miller just got there first, wrapped it around, and tucked it in.
So tell me about that moment where you and JT Miller locked eyes. Yes.
So it's
Let's see a reenactment, Parker.
Right, it's 10 p.m. on a Tuesday night. I've had a couple of Budweisers at the arena, slice of pizza. I'm feeling good. Second row, and I think it's Hughes that plays it up to Miller.
Yeah.
And everyone immediately stands up.
Okay.
And I think I led it because I'm like, no, we're standing.
Exactly.
So I get up,
And you're pretty tall, so the guy behind you has to stand up too, right?
So everyone's standing up. I was like, come on. And then he doesn't score. And then everyone's like, oh. And then he wraps it around and just everyone goes crazy. And you see in the pictures, like the pictures that were taken from the other side of the arena, and everyone's faces and everyone's like cheering. And you can see me in the one picture.
Yes.
Which I put in as our thumbnail for this one.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it was wild. That Miller just goes and hypes up the crowd, and it was excellent. It was super cool.
Now, when you saw it happen, aside from the euphoria, right, of seeing a big come from behind win, at the time, were you making any like bold statements like, "Oh, this can turn the season around," or were you simply happy for them? Like, what was your reaction?
No, I was just enjoying the game. I wasn't really like I had in the first period I had taken like a couple notes for my post game, which I normally do like an hour after if I go to the game. And then I was like, you know what? No, I can always like look at the highlights really quick if I need to and take some notes after.
So you weren't taking notes at the game?
I did a little bit, but then I was fully invested. And no, it was I wasn't getting too invested in it like in the course of the season, but just like I paid money to be in row 2 for the first time.
Good.
I want to we want to win while we're here. So.
That's awesome. And then did you bring anyone with you, or you just went solo?
Yeah, I brought my buddy Travis.
Sweet.
He came down from Whistler for the game.
Wow.
2-hour drive. So he was like,
made it worth it.
yeah, it was absolutely worth it. A ton of fun.
By the way, as good as JT Miller did, 2 of the goals, including the game winner, which Miller was bad? Keandre Miller. I think he was on the ice for all 3 Canucks goals, right?
Yeah, I think he might have been.
Yeah. I remember he gave it away like on 2 of the 3 of them. So
yeah, I definitely was. I definitely mentioned him as one of my. I mentioned him definitely in the post game, and I was like, yeah, Keandre Miller with a bad giveaway at one point that led to one of the goals. I don't remember a ton else. That was a week ago at this point.
Right, and then of course we went on Tuesday, so we think that we're going to win on Friday.
Yeah, and we're starting to think, okay, well, they're back again, 1 game below 500.
One game.
They keep getting back to this 1 game below 500. They need to go out. They need to just get a win, get above 500, get to 500, right? Just get across that line.
Yes.
And they go and they put out a pretty. I think I had a tweet after, and I was like, that was just lazy and uninspired. Like it was just. The team just wasn't putting the effort in. Yeah. It was sloppy. There were so many passes that just weren't connecting. And a 3-2 scoreline, you look at it like, oh, it was probably a pretty close game. And it was just not a lot going in the way of the Canucks. We do get Besser on the board with 9 seconds to go in the first period to tie the game in the first. And then we go to the second. Hoglander finally gets his first of the season. It's crazy that he only has 1 because he's been playing so well. Finally gets when he deserves. But we get the Predators scoring too late. Tomasino finally breaks through. Tomasino had like 4 grade A chances this game. And then the third period, everyone's just kind of watching, and absolutely nothing happens for 20 minutes, and the Canucks get nothing out of it.
So let me get this straight. You go to the game on Tuesday, and they win for you in one of the most exciting games in recent memory.
Yes.
I go to this one, and they lay an egg.
Yes.
And it's crazy. I think we should talk about this because it's going to lead into what we talked about in last night's game. This one, Nashville goes 2 for 3 on the power play, and we go 0 for on our power play.
Yeah,
that's bad.
That was the big issue in that game, and that's been the big issue basically all season, right? Has been the power play and the penalty kill. And we can take a look right now. We can pull up.
Oh man, I should cover my eyes if we're gonna do this.
We're gonna pull up the stats. Maybe we'll wait till after this one. But at this point, after this game against the Predators, I think the Canucks had 4 power plays in this one. Maybe.
I think they gotta give them 5.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Predators get 3 power plays. They score on 2 of them. And then the Canucks get 5, and they don't score on any of them. And at this point, the Canucks are, after this game, 1 for 20 at home on the power play because they're 5 games into a 7-game homestand, and they have converted once on 20 chances through 5 games.
So City goes on fire. Everyone's making suggestions on how to fix this power play.
Right. We went from a Newell Brown-led power play that was stale and boring to a new power play that didn't change at all. And it's worth being concerned, right? Because you look at the Canucks' last few games, right? If I pull up, if I can actually type.
You got so much stuff on your desk. I'm surprised you can reach your keyboard.
If we pull up the Canucks' last few games, right? That game against the Predators, they lost by 1.
Yeah.
The game against the Rangers, they won by 1. Oilers lost by 1. Lost by 1 against the Flyers. Lost by 1 against the Wild, right? 5 straight games that were 1-goal games.
They must be leading the league and losing.
And they lose 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
So, again, if that power play is 4 for 20, maybe 5 for 20 if they're doing extra well, right? That's all of these games going to overtime, basically, or potentially just having different results altogether.
God forbid we scored 2 goals in a game, we might actually win one.
Exactly. So the power play was, and the penalty kill, of course, working in sync to sink the team, really having a negative impact. So the Canucks go out against the Stars, and we are begging for some sort of change, whether it's new players on the power play. We get that. We get Chason getting scratched. We have Dowling going in. So we got Besser on power play 1. Crazy concept.
Hughes back, replacing Ekman Larson.
Hughes back on power play 1, which I was fine with OEL on power play 1. I thought he was doing okay.
Yeah.
But if you want a mobile, dynamic power play, Hughes is the guy you want to be leading that charge, right?
Yeah.
Because he's the more skilled player and he's the better skater.
Yes.
So they go out and suddenly they use up all their power play goals at once. So we have Pavelski scoring in the first to make it 1-0.
On the power play, of course.
On the power play. Yeah, so we're looking at it like, all right, the Canucks penalty killing continues to be terrible. And then the Canucks get a power play early in the second period, and JT Miller scores. And this is one where he's basically just skating downhill on the left side and just moving, right? Like skating with it. And he was sort of, I always go back to Connor McDavid and what he is, where he kind of just skates up to the blue line and down and up and down, because you can gain momentum and get a better shot off. And that's what Miller did. He gets a good shot off and they score.
Yep.
And then they get another power play. And Elias Pettersson has absolute perfection on this shot.
Yes.
Like, you can't write it up any better.
Yeah.
They hold the line at the blue line. They sneak in to the zone. Quinn Hughes pinches in. There's movement. And then Hughes feeds it back to the point. Pettersson is now there. Pettersson's not in his normal spot.
Yeah.
People are moving. The defense on the other side has to do some thinking, potentially, which is a crazy foreign concept. And a rifle of a shot from Elias Pettersson goes off the post, off the back bar, and out. Just a beautiful shot.
Yeah, and when we talk about the 2 power play goals, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've heard you talk about it. I know I've talked about it. Not only was it movement, Parker, I was saying, they've at least created movement. Anytime you move, give and go, create a triangle, whatever, you make the defense have to make a split-second decision.
Yeah.
And that indecisiveness is what helps you lead to scoring chances. But one thing I failed to mention, I'm almost kicking myself for not doing so, on both Miller and Pettersson's power play goals, not only was their movement, but on both of them, you had Horvat and Besser going in front of the net and creating that 2-layer screen that the Canucks don't do enough of.
Yeah, you look at that Pettersson shot from like the rear angle, and there's like 6 bodies lined up in a perfect line, and Pettersson just puts it beside all of them. Yeah. Hudobin has no chance. Right?
Exactly. And he's a smaller goalie, so he can't even see over guys.
John Garrett loves to bring that up.
Did he? What did he say?
Oh yeah, he called him a diminutive goaltender. And he said the exact same thing about Saros the game before, because they're 2 of the only 3 goalies that are under 6 feet in the NHL, with Halak being the other. So he was like, yeah, that's one of the reasons, and he mentioned that mainly on the puck goals and goal.
Okay.
Because that beat him up high. So 2 power play goals, converting early, Canucks back in it, and then we have Horvat scoring just shortly after. And this was a really good play from Tanner Pearson, who lots of people clamoring for him to not play with Horvat anymore, put him on the third line, which I've been on that side. Yeah. And then, of course, every time I mention it, Pearson does something useful.
The whole shifty was good.
He was really good. Yep. He had a really good chance where he tried to tuck it in. It got stopped, and then the play kept going, and then he tried it again. Puck ends up literally top of the crease, the easiest for Horvat. Just reach over, fire it far side, quick shot. He's 5 on the year in, 12 games now?
Yeah.
So a really good start for Horvat. He's on like a 35 goal pace, which he's not going to hit probably, but a great start for him, especially when other guys on the team haven't been scoring as much. Pettersson with 2 goals in this case, so that's good. It's like, all right, Canucks are up by 2. When have the Canucks had a 2-goal lead this season? It's not a lot, right? And then immediately after, Luke Glendening scores, and that was rough. This was bad. Travis Hamonic I guess, thought the centerman was going to come back and pick him up, but he just cheats all the way to the right side, leaving an entire cone to the net.
Yeah, so Burrows was on the close boards.
Yep, because there was the one guy coming in, which was Jason Robertson was coming on the left side.
What was Hamonic doing way over there?
And Hamonic was way on the right, I guess, picking up the left winger, and then Luke Glendening literally just gets a free walk right down the middle. And just beats Demko, an easy goal to score. So it's 3-2. And again, I'm getting nervous because I'm like, all right, well, the Canucks have had more power plays, so Dallas is going to get some power plays, and the penalty kill can't make a save. Luckily, the Canucks get back out in front by 2 off of this Garland Podkolzin 2-on-1, which Garland makes sort of a no-look, perfect pass on the tape.
That was sweet.
And Podkolzin in motion, angles the skates right, and just fires it as basically Hudobin's diving over. Perfect shot, just under the bar, and Canucks are up 4-2.
And we've talked a lot, Parker, about not necessarily looking at lines as 3-man units, but looking at pairs, right? It seems like that Miller and Pettersson are going to be a pair.
Yeah.
It seems like Horvat and Pearson are a pair. And it seems like now Podkolzin and Garland might turn out to be a really good pair. And then you can, Hoglander or Besser, you can flip guys, whatever it may be. But were you more impressed with Garland's pass or Podkolzin's snipe?
It was a bit of both. Garland, because those 2-on-1s, the defender's playing the pass, right? Like he's going for the pass, and Garland was able to get it off before the defender was able to get in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And then, but it doesn't matter if the guy at the end doesn't execute, right?
Right.
So, and that's a save where if that shot goes low, it's an unreal save by Hudobin. But the shot was up. It was perfectly placed just under the bar. Podkolzin's got a heck of a shot. So
that was very impressive.
Yeah. So it's 4-2.
Yep.
After 2. And I think the second period, the Canucks outshot Dallas like 16-8. So a dominant second period, 4-goal period for the Canucks, which they do not get a lot of, at least so far this season.
Well, I didn't know they changed this. I thought it was Ben.
Oh yeah, I guess they did change it because I took the screenshot after. So we thought it was a Ben tip for the first goal on the power play. Again on the power play. As the Stars go 2 for 3 on the power play.
We heard that before.
And it's a shot from the point by Suter. Looked like it got tipped in by Ben. It must have hit the stick of Pullman in that case because they were both there. And again, it's a 1-goal game. Canucks all just keep letting Dallas almost back into it. And then not a lot happens for about 10 minutes. JT Miller on the power play, this time on the opposite side of the ice.
That was nice.
Yeah.
You never see him over there.
Exactly.
He should go there more often, I think.
Exactly. People moved around. Pettersson moved up top, and then he moved over, and then Pettersson was in front. And then a Miller shot from the right-hand side, just short inside post. His 5th of the season, second of the night. Hughes had a 3-point night as well on this one.
Yeah.
Hughes' 8th assist of the season on that one, and Pettersson got an assist there as well. So Canucks up by 2. They pull Hudobin with about 3 minutes to go. Miller looks for the hat trick. He misses the net. And then Besser misses the net from center ice and then scores a way harder goal from the goal line.
How do you miss from center, hit the post, yet you basically score from an almost impossible angle?
Yeah, just fires it from the goal line and scores. So
I want to bounce back really quickly to that Miller power play goal. You know how we were talking about the other 2 power play goals? It was misdirection, but 2 guys. That one, when he went to the side, he didn't even wait for his guys to get in front of the net. He just whipped that one right past Hudobin.
Exactly. And sometimes you got to just make quick plays, right? And the Canucks have done a lot of just making the pass and wait and chill out, and then make a pass and wait.
Right.
But there was more urgency here tonight.
Yes.
They played more like Power Play 2 does. Which was definitely good to see.
I don't know how this one you watched on TV, right? Yeah. So I don't know how it translated on TV. In the arena, Parker, they looked more assertive. They looked more aggressive.
Yeah.
They looked more urgent. It's like they had a purpose every time they had the puck.
Yeah.
And it's easier said than done, but I would love to see them play like that all the time.
Yeah, it was clear that they were more urgent.
Mm-hmm.
However, there was the one power play that was not good, and that was the 5-on-3. The 5-on-3, they had 0 shots for both of the penalties. And that was the one lapse for the game. So the Canucks power play goes 3 for 6 last night, which moved them up in the rankings to 21st in the NHL at 18.4%.
Wow.
And the penalty kill went 1 for 3, which puts them at last in the NHL.
Absolutely last.
At 63.9%.
That's worse than my accounting mark, man.
That's so low. And again, I keep going back to Edmonton, who is at 50%. 50% on the power play and 86 on the penalty kill, which is just so absurd.
You know what's absurd? They're 86 on the penalty kill. Isn't that more than our power play and penalty kill percentage combined?
wow, that might be. No, right now it's just above that. Right now it's at like
No, it's 81.
91. 81.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my.
Isn't that bad?
That's not good. Yeah. Yeah,
Their penalty kill percentage is better than our combined power play and penalty kill percentage.
that is rough. Yeah. That is a fun stat.
Oh,
fun
man.
stats.
Okay, so quickly, so power play, let's say they've at least figured out a little bit. Movement,
A little bit.
misdirection, screening the goalie. Let's
As
say
long as
do
they
it.
keep it up.
Okay.
I'm too scared to get too happy with one game
Okay,
because
fine.
we've seen a trend.
Right.
I think the sort of 10-game trend before is a little
Yeah.
more important. But again, if they play like they did and they
Yeah.
can keep doing it, then yes, the power play should be better.
So, Coach Parker, what is wrong with the penalty kill?
I don't know. It's so hard to tell, right?
Yeah.
Because it just feels like every shot goes in on the penalty kill. I don't know if it's, I honestly don't know. Something needs to change. A lot of it is they're too lackadaisical getting pucks out of the zone,
Yeah.
right? We see
Yeah.
a lot of the time where a guy tries to make an extra play and they just don't get it across the blue line, right? We see Tyler Myers doing that a lot.
Yeah.
We see a lot of times, the puck comes around the boards and the winger waits a little bit too long and they can't clear it out, and pucks stay in the offensive zone for too long. As I think one of the biggest culprits, right? Because if you're spending the entire 2 minutes in your own zone,
Yeah.
you're not getting to change. That's going to kill you. I haven't done a lot of like film watching for
Yeah.
penalty kill. But that's been like my main.
How about they want a face-off once in a while, too?
That would be nice. Yeah, we've seen some bad face-off numbers for the Canucks.
Click on that one.
Face-off win percentage. Canucks are 21st, 49.2, just below 50%. So
Yeah.
Edmonton's at 53.8. Edmonton's good at everything.
That's why they're where they are, and that's why. Yeah.
That's why we're not.
Man. Okay, so we just talked. Do you remember last week's show? We actually predicted 3 for 3. Yeah, didn't we say we were going to win all 3?
We're gonna win all 3. They won 2.
Yeah, so we're not bad.
It didn't feel like they won
No.
all of them though, right? Like it felt like they did bad. Like it like at least the first 2 games, right? The Rangers game,
Yeah.
I think they were the better team, but the way they played in the first 2 periods, they they scraped that game out, right? They very well could have lost it.
Yeah.
The Predators game they did lose, and this game again, it took a couple marvelous saves by Demko.
Yeah.
I mean, the one stick save is unreal. So it could have gone either way again, but the
Yeah.
Canucks were the better team, especially if you look, at like natural stat trick. The Canucks were around like 57% or it was like 60%, something like that. So the Canucks were the better team
Yeah.
in probably 2 of these games, and they won them both. The fear is the special teams, right? Again, the Canucks could have a couple more points, right? They could be, they could be like 7-5 or 8-4 even if their power play converted and their penalty kill had been
Right.
better early in the season.
So this, I'm looking at this right now. One more, and I know you brought this up on your post game yesterday. One more win, and boom, we're right in the middle of
Yeah.
the standings, right? Are we destined to be in the mushy middle for this entire season? Do you think?
Yeah, I think. I mean, you look at this division, right?
Yeah.
You look at Edmonton and Calgary. I think they're gonna do fine, right? Especially Edmonton. Edmonton's 9-1. They're scoring 4.5 goals a game.
Yeah.
And McDavid is unreal. He's on pace for 600 points this year. And then Calgary's playing really well. Anaheim and San Jose are higher than I expected them to be.
That's got to change.
You think so? So if Anaheim and San Jose fall down, the Canucks move up. Vegas probably moves up. Vegas has a lot of injuries, but again, they're still Vegas. Like I'm not worried about them.
Yeah.
I mean, I am worried about them from our perspective.
Right.
But I could see, the top 4 being sort of Edmonton, Calgary, Vegas, and then Vancouver hovering around that 4 or 5, maybe with one of these California teams if they can sort of stay in the mix.
Yep.
If one of them overperforms, then that's a team you have to sort of use as a hurdle. So
Yeah.
Canucks should be shooting for 4th in the division. And look, they're at 11 points in 12 games. They can catch San Jose with a couple of wins, right? These teams are still within reach.
Yes.
We're still very early in the season,
Yeah.
but they need to get on a little bit of a run. They need to...
None of this one here, one there. One,
Right.
yeah,
You can't
yeah.
go lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 2, lose 2, right? Just go
Yeah.
back and forth, which is what the Canucks have been doing the last handful of games. They need to go out and they need to put together, win 4 out of 5 games or something like that, right? Win 2, lose 1, win 2. And then suddenly you're right back in the mix, and then you're not trying to play catch up all year, right?
Yep.
Where that's the position they're right now, right? If they're a couple points back, and then in January they're still, a couple points back, and in March they're a couple points back, and now you're really, you need to go on a run. it's better to go on a run early and try to hold a spot.
So isn't it funny how tomorrow's game against Anaheim is massive? Because if we win it in regulation, we fall. You come within 2 points of them with that one game in hand. So
Exactly.
for all intents and purposes, you win that extra game in hand, and now you've caught Anaheim in the standings. So you're right, Parker. We can make these small movements and these incremental movements against these, especially these 3 California teams. It is early, but just as we say it's early, these teams have performed relatively well. So we got to do our part too.
And a big part of it is you play Anaheim twice this week. You play them. You play them tomorrow night, and you play them on Sunday in Anaheim. So if you can win both of those, which I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves,
No,
but
you can't do that.
But you win both of those, and that's a big swing. And even if you were to lose to Colorado and Vegas, which hopefully you maybe take a point out of those, even if you win the 2 games against Anaheim, well, now you've gained ground on Anaheim. You've sort of moved a couple guys below you probably. So that definitely adds up.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough road trip. So I know we'll kind of project the end of the week later, but yeah, the one more home game to wrap up the homestand, get to 500 at least, right? That's what we want. Are you gonna make your way down to the game tomorrow? You think?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Nope. I've got a hockey game of my own tomorrow.
Nice.
So I will be out there.
Okay.
On the ice.
Very good. I'll be bowling. Surprise, surprise.
Perfect.
How come there's so many
Tuesday
Tuesday? How come
They're all Tuesdays because they're playing.
are
There's
they
almost
doing?
no Monday games this year, right? And that's
Which is good for our
which
show.
Is good for the show.
bad for my bowling or
Yeah.
bad for my?
Yeah, apparently. I just want to. You can keep going. I'm going to try to find something that I deleted earlier.
Okay, sure. Well, you keep doing that. Okay, so everyone talks about being 500, but we keep talking about you got to be better than 500 at home. You can be 500 on the road, but you got to be over 500 at home. And the Canucks, even if they win tomorrow, they're only going to be 3-4 on this homestand. So you can't call that a successful homestand. But heck, it'll be a lot better if we're 6-1 after tomorrow night instead of 5-7-1. That just it's not a good
it's
look.
a big swing, right?
Yeah.
And getting to 500 is a big key, right? Because the Canucks need to be about 5 games above 500 by the end of the season, maybe 6 games above 500.
Agreed.
So if you're behind 500 for a long time, then it gets really hard to get above 500 by the end of the season. So again, it's still early. It's it's too early to panic, but it's definitely early enough to see some scary trends, especially on special teams.
Right, and just before we move on, are you okay with Demko having played 10 of the 12 games so far?
This is a good question I got last night, and it was, should Halak play on Tuesday, tomorrow night against Anaheim? And I was looking at it, I'm like, well, if you play him tomorrow, you can probably close this if you're not using it.
Sure.
If you play him tomorrow, then you're also playing him during this back-to-back on Saturday, Sunday. It's also not a 24-hour difference. The Saturday game's at 7, the Sunday game's at 5.
Ooh.
So they're definitely not playing the same
They're
goalie.
splitting those for sure, yes.
Yeah. So the thing is, if you don't play him tomorrow, you're not going to play him Thursday.
Yeah.
So you're going to play him probably Sunday against Anaheim.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're looking at 13 of 15 for Demko,
Yeah.
and then 14 of 17 after the back-to-back.
Right.
Which is a lot, but the thing is, he's been the best player on the ice for the Canucks. So
know.
you got to be. If the team was 8-4, then sure, throw Halak in for a game. You might lose, you might go to overtime, whatever.
Yeah.
But this game, you might be looking at and be like, well, it's the Ducks. This might be our easiest opponent out of these teams, right? Even though Colorado and Vegas aren't high in the standings, right?
They're actually worse than
They're both worse than Anaheim. However, just based on history, we can Colorado has a better roster. I think Vegas has a better roster than Anaheim. So. You can look at that and be like, all right, well, do you put in Halak for this game against Anaheim because it might be the easier opponent, or do you put in Demko against Anaheim because it's the easier opponent and you want to guarantee the win? So it's a really tough balancing act. I struggle to see them changing anything in the lineup after winning last night.
Don't disagree, but I could also see Halak playing tomorrow night. Imagine if Halak wins, then you keep him, you save him. You let Demko play against the 2 tough ones on the road.
Yeah.
And then you're going to split that Saturday, Sunday. You bring back Halak against Anaheim because he's just beaten them 5 days before. Now, if the plan goes to heck, yes.
then Anaheim's got a goalie that they got a little bit of a book on from that first game if they score like 5.
But I don't think like that. I think the Canucks are going to win.
Of course. Yeah. That is definitely a fair point.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see.
All right. Should we do an ad read?
Okay.
All right, I'll bring it over here so I can see it. Support for Canucks After Dark is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, the champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped has launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you guys, listeners of Canucks After Dark. 20% off. You can see it right here. 20% off, free worldwide shipping with this code right there, CAD at manscaped.com. If you are someone, you need a little bit of hair maintenance, it's the perfect time. Christmas right around the corner. Now's the time. Get your order in before they run out for the Christmas season. Treat yourself to the best trimmer in the market. You guys deserve it. So get 20% off, free shipping with the code CAD at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code CAD. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Nicely done.
What were you looking at back there?
No, I just wanted to see how that...
Inspecting the monkey?
Yeah, that monkey. No, I'm a mature 47-year-old man, but the only hair I worry about is this nice fade here. Yeah. Nice read, though. I'm very impressed. It's even more impressive in person, I must say.
Yeah, I got dialed in for these. It's what I live for. Jog plastic, can you use it on beards? You can use it wherever you got to. It's a hair trimmer. It'll work everywhere. It's just,
Clay's like...
Jeff saying Clay's like a political prisoner during the ad read. I'll pull this up. I'll pull this up on stream. That is a great comment, Jeff.
I'm gonna keep that one.
All right, let's go on to stars of the week. Who were your best players of this week? If you had to pick a couple,
wow.
who were your big wins?
Heading into before last night's game, I would say Connor Garland for sure because of how he single-handedly helped us win against the Rangers. But then, all of our big players blow up for 3 points here, 3 points there, 3 points. But then I said, well, who am I kidding? It's Demko. It's always Demko. The answer is always Demko. I still think Garland was good. And, I'm happy to see PD break out. I think Miller's... But I've really been impressed with Horvat's game, actually.
Yeah. Horvat's always just so consistent.
Yes.
And he's a guy who just always has high energy. He's always leading the team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Demko is the obvious one, right? Game-saving saves against the Rangers this week. Totally won the game for the team there.
Yep.
Big saves last night. The scorpion kick against the Rangers, and then the stick save last night was unreal. I didn't know until after my post game that he actually saved it. I hadn't seen the one highlight from the other side of the stadium that really shows it. Unreal.
That would happen right in front of me. I wish I was filming it. I filmed the 2 powerplay goals, but I didn't film that. It was amazing, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was sick.
And then you get a 3-point night from Elias Pettersson last night, 3-point night from Quinn Hughes. There's Horvat also, I think, had
he
3
did
points.
Yeah, the best of Miller too. Yeah,
so everyone racking up points last night, but my main star of the week, it has to be Demko.
Yeah,
and it's not close.
I'm with you.
Who let you down this week? Who wasn't living up to the hype?
I will say at the game yesterday, and seeing them live, both Myers and Pullman had rough games.
Myers was bad yesterday.
And the funny thing is, Gale was next to me on my right, and
Yeah.
then it was me, and then 2 guys I didn't know. But the guy beside me, he has Myers in his fantasy pool. I don't know why. So I was ragging on him for picking. I think it was a late round pickup. Anyways, so he needed Myers to get shots on goal. He needed Myers to get a goal. Stuff. Yeah, no, exactly.
It's a reach.
So then this guy turned on Myers basically 3 minutes into the game, but Myers had a rough game, and Pullman, I can remember at least once, if not twice, where he actually fell down. Like I get worried when fast guys go around him.
Yeah, he it's kind of like reminiscent of Olio Levy in that case. Myers was rough yesterday. Again, he really sometimes just struggles to get the puck out of the zone. Which really hurts the team. I thought Justin Bailey is kind of on thin ice right now. He only played 4.5 minutes last night.
Really?
Yeah, so he is... again, they don't make changes after wins, but if Chason was going to get back in the lineup and take anyone's spot, it would be his. If Tyler Mott is ready to come back, Justin Bailey is the first guy coming out.
Yep.
I don't know. I thought everyone else did pretty okay. I'm just trying to think through the lineup.
Yeah, and I was talking about Pullman and Myers. You know what I'd like to see, Parker? I'd love to see, maybe they're working their way up to this. I'd love to see Hamnick back with Hughes. They kind of put them together for a couple times in the Nashville game. Yeah, a couple times in last night's game against Dallas. But if Pullman continues to struggle, and Hughes' offense isn't being helped by Pullman at all. No. You know that, right? No. So, we know that. So I would love to see Hamnick with Hughes and then put Pullman on the third pairing. Technically, he's getting paid less than Hamnick, whatever. You go, right? Isn't it $3 million to 2.5 or whatever? isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So you could put Pullman on the third pairing with either Hunt or Burrows or whoever you want. So that's what I'd like to see. I think Hamanek's been not bad since his return.
That one goal.
Yeah.
The one goal was bad.
Where he was, But
he's only played like 3 games so far this season, right? And then the one game in Abbotsford, where he did play like 23 minutes, I think. But I think those are all fair. So, homestand ends tomorrow night. 2-4 in the homestand. Overall review.
Not good.
Not good?
Not good.
I like it.
You
Hot
need
take.
you need to be on the other side. That's got to be reversed. It's got to be 4-2, right?
Yeah. And we looked at it. I remember after the road trip, 3-2-1. We thought, that's fine. 7 points in 6 games. It's
over
not great.
500.
It's not great, but it's fine.
Yeah.
They needed to go into this homestand and carry that a bit. Go minimum 4-3.
Yeah, we said 8 to 9 points.
8 to 9 points should be good, right? And looking at the teams they played against, Dallas, Nashville, like these are teams that they should beat at least most of the time. So
I think that's the scary thing, man. We haven't seen tough opponents.
We haven't seen many tough opponents. The road trip was a lot of pretty easy opponents. We do get Colorado, who is struggling, but it's still Colorado this week. And Vegas, same deal there, but they're missing a bunch of guys. They just got rid of Alex Tuck, which is a big piece of their lineup gone with the Eichel trade.
Yep.
So definitely some tests coming up for the Canucks. But yeah, they needed to win more.
And then don't we come home, and not to look too far ahead, don't we get Vegas again as soon as we come back, right?
I only looked at the next 4 games.
Yeah, well, you can't go too far
Very,
ahead.
very possible. I guess I do have it here. They play Vegas on Saturday the 13th, so this Saturday. And
then they Colorado again. Yeah, that's
they
crazy.
get Colorado. So they get Colorado Thursday this week, and then next Wednesday, so 6 days apart.
Yeah.
You want to take one of those, right? Because with the way Colorado's playing, who knows? Maybe they're in a wild card spot at the end, but probably not.
It's crazy though. You look at that 2-4, and obviously we talked about the 2 wins, the Rangers on Tuesday night, and Dallas last night. But just imagine if that Rangers game didn't go that way.
Oh yeah, it's a disaster.
You're 0-4 to start that road trip, homestand.
Yeah,
we might be talking about a different coach.
I think if that had happened and then they lost against the Predators, they would have been 0-5.
Yes,
I think Travis Green's gone.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that would 0-5 at home hasn't happened maybe ever for this team, right?
Then we'd be 3-8-1. That's brutal.
Yeah, that's 3-7-1 because they were 3-2-1 before. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yes,
very well could have been a whole new regime in place just from that. So JT Miller saved it. Demko saved it.
Yep. They saved his job.
Absolutely. So speaking of the coach, Travis Green. Has your opinion changed from last week? We've seen things change a little bit, at least on the power play side.
Yeah.
So they've clearly adapted something, or it was a fluke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has your opinion changed on Travis Green?
A little. You know that I like Travis Green a lot. I like him more than I like Benning.
I do too.
Yeah. So we both do. I think. To me, last night, Parker, what was nice is it wasn't just the power play. I saw more urgency in their game overall, and I think that. That's why they drew 6 penalties on Dallas, right? That's why they were able to take advantage. So let's kind of see what happens tomorrow night against Anaheim. But I do think I liked enough of what I saw yesterday. And I get it that Demko's been amazing, as we talked about. Garland's been a nice surprise. Even Hoglander, puck holes, and they didn't score multiple points, but they were really good last night. But I did see enough where I like to think that maybe this team understands how they need to play now.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. You don't seem as convinced.
Yeah, again, it's just one game, right? It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
JJ's asking, should we run a poll? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm going to call this Keep Green, ? Yes or no?
Oh, that's fast, yeah.
So you guys can answer the poll. Yes to keep him, no to fire him. Let's see where you guys are at. Votes should come in almost immediately. It's usually pretty quick. So get those votes in. I thought they'd be in by now. I thought it would be like 20 in right away.
You know why? Because people are really torn. They don't know which button to press.
Yeah, it's a tough decision. There you go. 22 votes coming in. Early results, 55% on keeping Travis Green.
It's not...
Last week, it was about 22. So two wins and a loss. One of those wins barely being pulled out. And we're seeing a 30% swing in approval rating. That is crazy. 58-42 right now.
I was going to say, you do another poll, say, should we do more of these shows in person? But if they say yes, then we feel like we'd be...
They're all going to, they're going to say yes, because it's way better.
Yeah, this is awesome.
It's just a commute, which is tricky.
Yeah, well, we can take turns. Okay, anyway.
All right, so we'll, poll results so far, 56% keeping Travis Green at this point. So very split still.
Yep.
And again, I bet if they lose tomorrow to Anaheim, and especially if it's like a 4-1 loss, I bet this flips.
No, you're probably right. But we'll take that for now. Okay, good.
All right. Let's talk about Alex Chason a little bit. Out of the
Time
lineup.
goes faster when we're together. Did you know it's 10:40? It's crazy.
Wow. All right, maybe we should skip Chason. Do we care?
I don't. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but
I like Dowling more. I thought Dowling's been good.
Yeah.
We've already talked about why the penalty kill is the worst in the NHL. Do you want to talk a little bit about Tyler Mott?
Yeah,
do we know anything?
He was still an extra today. He wasn't on one of the lines.
Okay.
So then that means he won't play tomorrow, right? Because we know Travis Green likes to practice how he's going to play.
And they're not changing the lines. Although they should, after a win, if it's Tyler Mott instead of like Justin Bailey.
Yeah.
But they won't change the lines because
so then,
something will change.
Yeah, I was hoping selfishly that I'd see him Friday night against Nashville.
Yeah.
But if he's not even in line rushes yet, but at least he's practicing with the team, so maybe it's Thursday at the earliest.
And he's in a contact jersey. He's not.
Good.
At least from what I've been able to tell, they said he wasn't in like a special jersey or anything, just a regular bottom six jersey. Yep. So hopefully Mott is back soon, because that will be a huge boost to the power play, and especially if Sutter came back, which could be months away.
Yeah.
But Tyler Mott being back at least on the power play is a huge add.
Do you like Mott, Lamico, Dowling as a fourth line right now? I'm putting Mott in for Bailey. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I've liked Lamico more than I expected I would.
He's good.
Yeah, he's been fine.
It's better than your Levy.
Yeah, and I've been impressed by Dowling as well. Yeah. I thought he's been a really good fourth liner. Other teams might have better fourth liners, but for what he is, he's been great. Inserting Tyler Mott there, and then eventually taking Lamico out for a guy like Sutter, and suddenly that bottom six starts to really take shape, and they need it to because this penalty kill is worse in the NHL.
We need him.
Yeah.
Too bad he can't win faceoffs for us.
Yeah. Well, he needs someone to. Well, Sutter could, if he was back, but
yes.
All right. Quick preview. Next 4 games. Tuesday Anaheim, Thursday Colorado, Saturday Vegas, Sunday Anaheim. Let's do it. Let's lock our predictions in. 4 games. Give us the record. Don't say 4-0. You can't say 4-0.
Why?
They're not going to go 4-0.
But I'm allowed an opinion, all right?
Okay, yeah, sure. You can be.
Although
wrong.
I'm in your house, you could throw me out that window in a second.
It doesn't open enough. This is all the way.
Well, yeah. Actually, could I fit? No, I can't fit
You
through
cannot.
there.
No,
I don't think my limb could fit through. Anyways, I don't know if they're going to beat Colorado in Colorado. I think they could beat Vegas though, and I'm excited about that game. And I think they get. Okay, man. I'm going 2-1. No, 2-1-1.
That was mine too, and that's everyone in the chat.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh,
look at
I
this.
didn't see that.
I just looked now. JJ says 2-1.
John Clay gonna say 4-2. No, we're not doing score prediction. We're doing.
I think everyone, look, win OTL, win loss. I think 2-1-1 is like a good week.
Yeah, it's 5 points.
We'd be happy with that.
What is that? 5 points.
They'd be below 500 still.
Dang it.
But they might be above 500 for a game.
Depends on the order of the two, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So
I think they should beat Anaheim at home. I think they'll lose Colorado.
Anaheim's been very good in their arena, which is where they're playing on Sunday. Anaheim is 5-2-1 at home, 1-2-2 on the road.
So I'm gonna go beat Anaheim, lose to Colorado, beat Vegas, overtime or shootout loss to Anaheim. There's my 2-1-1.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
I'd be sort of in the same boat. But if the Canucks don't beat Anaheim, beat Colorado, suddenly things are looking good, and they'll probably lose the next 2, and they'll be sad again. I think 2-1-1 is a pretty good prediction.
2-1-1. Okay, let's go with that.
That is baseline.
Yeah, baseline.
The Canucks should go 2-1-1. If they go 2-2, fine. 2-1-1 is our minimum to be satisfied, I'd say.
1-1-2.
1-1-2 is no good.
1-2-1.
No, the Canucks gotta get 5 points.
Not sure why I'm sounding like I'm constipated when I say that.
They need to start pulling out wins.
Yeah.
Like they need to start adding points to that list.
So 0-3-1, no good.
Okay, so this is really funny. A really funny interaction. Lego comes in and says "Meeting of the Greats," which is great. Thanks, Lego. And then someone immediately responds saying, "Lego, you're dust."
What does dust mean?
Just like bad. Like
Lego's the best.
I know. It's just hilarious. I think that's such a fun insult.
We should put Lego in like right here next time. And then we'll just pile in all the Canucks bloggers.
We'll have Lego on as a guest, but it has to be in person. We'll get everyone
exactly.
in here. That'll be our rule for guests. They have to be in person.
Although Lego and I live in Richmond, maybe you should come down to Richmond.
I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I got the production.
That's true. I just have a
wall with I can bring the camera.
Okay. Okay.
There was a question earlier from JJ that I wanted to start our Q&A segment with. And he says, this in-person co-hosting raises questions. How many times do you guys see each other in person? Did you know each other before you started your different podcasts? I guess I'm out of the loop. Little background, little fun time. So we've seen each other in person once.
Yeah, this is the second time.
Just once at a training camp in Abbotsford. We watched that together. Did we know each other before we started different podcasts? No, Clay's been doing this forever. I started in December of last year, so about 11 months ago. And then I just told him, hey, we're doing a podcast now. And he said yes. So,
although prior to that, I did reach out to Parker first because I actually saw Parker do a vlog actually from his car, which got me right here already. And then he actually already in his I think in your recaps, you were already doing highlights in the
training
corner.
camp. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote and I said, hey, how'd you do that, man? That's pretty cool.
Editing.
Yeah. Which I don't know anything about, apparently. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how I reached out to him. Then we messaged back and forth. And then Parker came up with this idea for Canucks After Dark. We didn't name it yet for a podcast. And I said, sure. I said, I like what you do. I think we could have some chemistry. I think we have similar temperaments from a standpoint of maybe more similar philosophies on the team. Don't get too crazy, but we're not negative Nellies or whatever. And it's been great. We've grown quite a bit.
Yep.
Our individual channels, but more importantly for tonight, this has grown. We want it to grow more. But yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Great question. Good way to kick it off. Leo's saying would love to get Lego on as well. Look, Lego's got. Well, this is his open invitation officially. he can come on whenever. We'll have him on, especially if it's not in person because StreamYard works really well. He would have to literally like sit back here. So
yeah,
we might have him on at some point. We've never had a guest on, so
that's true.
We might have to do that at some point. We've got people that we could line up if need be.
But would they be any good?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's people that would be good that have been in our chat before.
Yep.
John's saying meet up with THG when he's not on our radar. He's a little bit out of our reach, I think. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Let's get some more questions.
Terrence. I like that one.
Terrence saying, how tall is Parker? Clay always oversells my height. He's like, oh, he's so tall. It's like, I'm 5'10". Like, I'm not...
Yeah.
I'm not tall.
But I'm 5'6", so everyone looks tall to me.
I'm average at best. So
he's Demko and I'm Hudobin, basically.
But like subtract a ton from each of us. Yes. Virtual Reality Channel saying the best slapper that's impossible to save is nowhere to be found on a contract year. Is this a problem this many games in? I kind of disagree here. I don't think Besser's slapper has really ever been his go-to, right? We've seen a couple where he's had outrageous shots, but Pettersson's always had a better one-timer. Besser is just so lethal at sitting in a spot, getting a puck, loading up, and just firing it so hard and so accurate that no one can save it.
I agree. If there's a puck, a nice pass along the ice that's coming towards him, wouldn't you agree that he would much rather cradle it, rip it and wrist it as opposed to trying his one-timer is okay, but I don't think it's amazing.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's I'd say it's similar with like JT Miller, right? They both have good one-timers and they can do it if they need to.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that he has a sort of a grade A one-timer. He's not Alex Ovechkin, who has how many goals Alex Ovechkin has this year?
I only know because someone asked me about it yesterday. Is it like 10 in 11 games?
11, I think. What? He has now. I think he scored again tonight.
What the heck?
Actually, did they play tonight? I think they won 5-3.
Okay, so he's got
Ovechkin scored his 11th of the season
in 12 games or 13 games, whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
What the heck?
Tied Hull 4th on the all-time list.
How many does he need to pass Gretzky?
I think Gretzky's in like the mid 800s.
Okay.
High 800s. I think he's like 100 and 150 maybe. So
he could do it in three really good seasons, right?
I mean, he could do it this year if he keeps this up. Man, he's got,
I bet he scored 90 goals.
The crazy thing is Draisaitl's only one back on him.
In goals.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's been absolutely unreal.
Wow.
Leo saying you're taller than Connor Garland. Not a high bar.
Hey, what do you say, man? Me and Connor Garland the same height? No, I'm just kidding. He's taller than me.
He's
Did
5'8".
I tell you that Gary Bettman's taller than me? Did I tell you the story, right?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, we took a selfie at the All-Star game, and I didn't know, right? Because we can tell. I was too. Then I looked at my picture, and I was so embarrassed, man. Then I realized he's always standing next to guys that are on skates, so he looks
very short.
Yeah,
and he also next to professional athletes every time who are typically taller as well.
Not my finest moment, I'll say that. Dang it.
Quattrop saying 24-hour stream together. That's a lot of time for me. I can't do. I could probably do 24 hours, but.
I'm not doing it for another 5 years, I think.
It'll be a while. Cianitz, what was your first impressions of meeting each other? You were there.
Well, I think she wants to know what we say so she can match it up to.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It was fun. It was kind of as expected. I sent a text message saying, "Where are you sitting?" You told me where, and I walked up there. I almost walked right past you. I think immediately you stand up and you're like, "All right, height check." You straight up height checked me right off the bat, and it.
No. First thing I did is I put down the seat cushion for you, so you can. Yeah.
That was very polite.
Thank you. That's my jam. No, I think in all seriousness, for all you loyal watchers, viewers, Parker, and I think this is a credit to him, and I guess to me a little bit, because I think with us, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
What you see on the stream, whether we're together or in our own separate homes. That's exactly how we are in real life, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I would say that Parker knows a lot about the game, and he was able to point out certain nuances of what was happening. For me, I'm not that he's not, but I'm very happy-go-lucky. I always say that I have serious responsibilities, but I don't take myself too seriously, and I think that came out when we were watching the training camp too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was just fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Justin, man, we're just continuing the friendliness.
Why not? Because we're here.
Sure. Favorite trait of each other. I'm so bad at being nice to people. I don't know.
I'll start out. Do you need time to think about it? Or?
I think for you, it's just you're good guy Clay. You're just the most positive. You're always happy-go-lucky. You're always we're always. Yeah. You're always thinking positively, which I struggle with sometimes around this team.
Thanks, man. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
This team, it's tough to be happy around this team sometimes, but you always pull it off.
Okay, I will say this about Parker. I was gonna say his knowledge of tech, but that's kind of like that's a compliment, but that's not the nicest compliment. But I will say this: he's very patient, and he's always willing to explain things to me. Oftentimes, I don't know if we'll do it tonight. Well, we're in person, so we might. Oftentimes, once the stream is done at 11:05. We'll talk for about half an hour, and about 25 minutes of it is me asking, "Hey, how do you do this?" or "Tell me about this," or "Tell me about this stat." And so Parker, despite being newer in this game, knows probably technically a lot more than I do, and he always takes the time to teach me. So I do appreciate that about you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Dean with a question that we're going to answer together. Who would you rather have, Elias Pettersson or Connor Garland? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Elias Pettersson.
Yeah.
He's a star. Garland is great, but Elias Pettersson's he's Elias Pettersson.
Yep.
This name always gets me. About Bobo. The game against Vegas is going to be Demko's first game against Vegas after the playoffs. Do you think he'll be lights out? That is fair. Is he going to go back? Is he going to just have Vegas's numbers sort of?
Well, there's got to be confidence there for sure, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yes, and the players, I'm sure 60 to 70% of the roster's still the same. Maybe you said that Vegas has a lot of injuries though.
Yeah. I wonder if they're scared. They look at Demko and like, man, this guy.
That's true.
Had us literally a year and a half ago, right? Yeah. It's not that long ago. I could see that. I could see them being, you can sort of subconsciously get a little bit like, oh man, we couldn't beat this guy last time, and you just get frustrated really easily. I could see it, but I'm not going to bank on it.
Although I wish that would have happened with Koskinen. Did we score 4 on 4 shots last time?
Yeah,
and then he beat us.
Of course, yeah.
Koskinen.
Zuff saying, which Canuck had the greatest shot of all time? You'll know a little more history than me. I'm more of a... I'm more Naslund era forward. Yeah, so Naslund's on the list.
Yeah. Well, even if we're not, he didn't say hardest shot. He said greatest shot. Yeah. Naslund, we think Brock's wrister is good. Naslund's wrister was sublime.
Brock and Petey both have to be on this list.
Yeah.
Because again, they don't hit it all the time, but when they do, it's beautiful.
Yeah, Bure had a lot of really good slap shots too. One timers. We think that he's so fast on the skates, and he was always deking guys. No, he had a wicked shot as well. I'm trying to think who else was good. Mogilny had a good shot. Mogilny has a great wrister. Yeah. Yeah, and then when I think of slappers, Jeff Brown. Jeff Brown was a defenseman that we traded for from St. Louis in the 90s. He had a wicked slap shot too. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
There's some.
I love it. Shannon asking, can you explain what the Canucks have to do to make the playoffs at this point? So we're 12 games in, 70 to go, and the Canucks probably need 84 more points.
Yeah, you want to say 95?
Yeah, 95. So they need 84 points in 70 games. So you got to win 42 out of them if you don't go to overtime ever. Right. So 40 wins, 4 overtime losses, 39 wins, 6 overtime losses, and then the rest regular losses. So they need to win more than half the games by a good margin.
Yeah, actually, I love that. Let's take our 39 and 6, and then we said there is 72 games left, right? No, 71 games left.
71 games left.
Yeah, so they'd have to go 30...
games left. 70 games left. They played 12. 70 games left.
They'd have to go 39, 35, and 6.
Something like that. It's too late for math.
Yeah, me too.
But it's something around there.
No, I just added like 10 games to their season, but that's okay.
Maybe. They got to win.
They got to win.
They got to win some games.
Oh, yeah, Sammy Salo, of course. I can't believe
Sammy
I forgot.
Salo. Yeah, true.
You know Sammy Salo got hit in the nether regions?
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. That's a fear of mine. Let's see. Sharm's asking the story about the portrait behind me, the big monkey. I think my mom moved into a place and it was already there, and then when she moved out, I said I want it, and so I took it. And it just lives there now because it's a fun background. It's a monkey wearing some Sennheiser headphones, looking cool. That Clay's going to try to imitate.
No, what the...
Life imitates art, is the saying, right?
What's your hand? Anyways, I like it. It's really nice.
Yeah.
You know, when I first saw your stuff, I thought this was a ring light. For some reason, yeah.
It's just headphones.
Yeah, or a ring light on a monkey's ear. I'm not sure why he's got a ring light on his ear.
Lucas asking, am I coming to the CCC meetup on Saturday? I don't know. Is that this Saturday?
It is. You should come down.
Where is it?
Do your show. Is up.
It's in like deep Vancouver, right?
Park Pub.
Yeah,
Vancouver. Even come for a bit, then you can rush home and do your live stream. Or do your live stream from there. I don't care.
I don't know if they'll let me.
Well, I'm going on Thursday to check out the tech. I'll let you know.
Okay. Are you doing your thing from there?
Yeah, but I'm not doing it on you. Depending on the tech, right? If I can't get on a good, connection, then I'm just gonna do something live, but I won't stream it. So let me text you and we'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah, but I can do mine right next to you on a different camera. Yeah, Saturday I can do that. Maybe.
Come down. It'll be fun.
I haven't looked at my calendar.
Okay,
but
we'll chat. I was gonna tell you what we'll talk about later.
Arsenal asking, how many points do you think Hoglander is going to get? He's looked really good. Love the dangle he's showing this year. How many points does he have right now? He's got the 1 goal.
Yeah, three points, right?
3 points, is that it? Stats.
Yeah.
You got to scroll. Where is he? Hoglander, 4 points. 1 goal, 3 assists. So he's on pace for
27.
30, just under 30 at 27 points or so. I think he gets more points than he's on pace for right now. I think he's been a little bit snake bitten. I could see him putting up 35.
Yeah, I'd say 33 or 34. I think we gave him more in our preseason bets, right? Didn't we say 40?
I am curious as to what sort of the average thing was. I'll see if I can pull that up here.
While Parker's looking that up, that's that play that Hoglander did yesterday where he deked everyone and then did that sweet dish to Pearson, which I got really mad at Pearson at the game because I thought he completely whiffed on it. He did, but it actually almost went in, right? They had to review it.
Yeah, they
go back 3 minutes
later. Yeah, looking at the predictions, most people were in the 40 to 50 range.
The heck is that?
This is Hoglander's points. Yeah. So yeah, most people were 40 to 50, lots of 40s, lots of 45s. And somewhere in there. But I think right now, since he started a little slow, 35, I think would be fine. But I wouldn't be surprised if he does better.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many questions. You guys are firing.
That's good,
It's
right?
already 11, but I mean, we're in person.
We're in person.
We might as well just keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Sharm saying, will we continue to see increased ice time for Puck Olsen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he played, 14 and a half last night?
More 5-on-5. Well, it's because there's so many power plays, but more 5-on-5 time than PD and Miller. Yeah, he's earning Green's trust slowly and surely.
No assists yet for him, which is kind of surprising. But
he's a good passer too.
He's a good passer, and he's just always so involved, right? Yeah. He's always going for it. He's always trying to excel. Even with his limited ice time, I think you'll see him at 17, 18 by the end of the season, maybe.
Would you agree that with my assertion that Brock Besser is not a good passer? He just passes it as hard as he shoots.
I haven't thought about it.
Yeah,
that's what I do too, and people don't like it.
And do you get mad at them for not being able to receive your pass?
Yeah, except they're like waist high sometimes, and I can't.
They're too busy. They're protecting their.
Much. But yeah, I think we should see some increase.
Okay.
We'll go a little bit quicker. Nicole saying, "Nice to meet you on Friday." Yes, you messaged me.
Yeah, I told Parker right away that we met. It was nice, and she ended up staying for a second game, so which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yes. Nice to meet you too, Nicole. Thank you for your support.
Virtual reality channel with limited ice time. Puck Golden's on pace for 25 goals already. Is he? 3 goals, I guess so. Yeah.
Wow.
3 and 12. That's 0.25 a game. 0.25 times 82. 20.
Yeah.
21. He's only played 10 games, which kind of skews the stats a little bit.
That's true. That's
so
true.
I guess maybe 25 at that point. Yeah. Times by 8. 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he scores 25.
No, but imagine PP2 actually gets a chance to play.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy?
But he could score 18, 20, and that would be a very successful season for him. Especially with the way we've actually seen him play. We've been so high on that I think even if I was even saying, like, look, if Pog Colson gets 25, 30 points this year, but he keeps playing the way he is, I'm totally fine with it.
You know what's funny? I know I suggested, I'm not sure if you agreed or disagreed, that maybe Puck Colson an outside chance of replacing Hoglander as a second liner. Then Puck Colson really wasn't even playing in a couple of the games, but Hoglander wasn't scoring. So it's weird that Puck Colson has 3, Puck Colson and Hoglander only has 1, and the points are 4-3. So they're relatively equal.
Yeah,
and Hoglander gets way more ice time.
Yeah,
I like him. Don't get me wrong. I like him. I'm just pointing out that Puck Colson has done well with his limited ice time.
That is fair.
Yeah.
We're going to skip a couple here.
Sure.
Just so we can try to get through them all. CNDH saying, do you think the Canucks should try to get Stetcher back this offseason? Probably wouldn't take a lot. I don't think he's really playing for too much. I do want to look up how many games he's played. He has played 6 games this year. He has
half.
1 assist. Yeah, half. I don't know how much Detroit's played, but... Yeah, they played 13 games this year.
I was upset when we lost him, but I don't know.
Where does he fit? There's already such a glut of third pair guys, right?
Yeah, and not so good third pair guys.
No, it's a bunch of mediocre third pair guys, which is kind of what Stetcher is. Stetcher had a ton of heart, and he was good. But again, I think we are quick to overvalue him because he's from here. But
yeah, you always overvalue your own guys.
But I do think he would be useful on this team. But I just think they have so many guys already in that spot that they might not do it. Although if he's a free agent, is he a free agent after this year?
He is, because he signed 2 years in Detroit.
Yeah, maybe 1.7. I bet you can probably get him if he only plays half the season in games. You can probably get him like 1.2, 1.3.
And then
I'm sure he'd love to be here.
Yep. And then you're saying, would you rather have Stetcher at half the cost of Pullman, for instance?
Yeah.
Right?
Especially, and then if you can trade Pullman for a 6th.
Yeah.
Good value.
Yeah.
Definitely an interesting thought experiment there.
Yeah.
Let's keep going here. Nick saying that he predicted that we'd be in the same room in the comment section of your last video.
He did.
Is that because you sort of teased it?
Well, at the end of my stream, I said, join Parker and me, 10 o'clock Canucks After Dark. We're trying something that we've never done in our 8 months of history. And then no one got it right. And then I stopped the stream, and then someone put it in the chat. But then Nick actually went and did the true comment. And he said, yeah, you guys... So he was correct. Yeah.
Fair enough. Cianitz, do you think McDavid hits 150 points this year?
I think he's going to come close, but I think he's going to fall short.
So Dom Lucian's model has him getting 140 this year. JT Miller was 10th on his model's projections, which he seemed confused by. He didn't like that Miller was on pace for like 89.
Does he not like
He doesn't think Miller's good enough to get 89 points, but his model does. But Miller was over a point a game in the shortened season. Yep. Yeah. So I don't think that's too crazy. Might be tough, but yeah, I think he had McDavid at I think it was 48 goals, 92 assists. Was his projection, which is so crazy, but not that unrealistic, especially playing with Draisaitl.
I would say that games are looser at the start of the season, especially when you get to more of a playoff, type feel in the last month or so, or last 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. Granted, that's when the best players step up, but I do think games get a little bit tighter. Therefore, there are fewer points, so I don't think he's going to get to 150.
He does have 22 points in 10 games. He is well above. He's already above 2. He's 2.2 points per game right now, which is great. It's amazing that a guy making $12.5 million is underpaid, but he is.
Yeah. What is what does Jay Fresh's model, whatever, say? He's worth...
I think Lucision's model says that he has like $4 million of excess value a year. He could be getting paid like $17 million, and it would be good value, like normal value.
He could be 20% of a team salary cap, and that's still good value.
Yeah, because he's going to score 140 points. He has the production of two good players.
Actually, that's a good point.
So yeah, it's unreal. Let's see here. Do you think Podkolzin gets 10 plus goals? Says Edmund. He only needs 7 more.
So I say yes.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
A goal every 10 games. Absolutely.
Yeah.
People asking what amenities I have to watch the games on. I have a TV. I have a TV here. I got a TV out there. I got TVs everywhere.
Wait, this is TV? Oh, out there.
No, this is the TV.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
In the living room. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Not the monkey.
That's a talented monkey. If he's
Luke is saying, are you going to invest in a studio for Canucks After Dark one day? If we are like a top 10 podcast in Canada, then sure. Yeah, if we're pulling in, thousands of listeners, but
yeah.
I don't think we're going to spend a bunch of money on a studio when we're not making any.
Yeah,
we're not making much.
Yeah, the stopgap would be me coming over here every week.
Also, we live far apart, so we'd have to like put it in the middle or
yeah.
I don't know.
Should I look for places in New West or what?
Yeah. Jonathan asking if the Canucks don't make the playoffs, do things change? Betting gone, Green gone. If they don't make the playoffs, I think so.
Yeah.
They've gone all in, and they're the ones setting the expectations, right? I said this last week, but it's not Canucks fans that are saying this is a playoff team, even though they are. It was management and coach that said that this is a playoff team. So if they're not, then that's on them.
Yeah, and I think it depends too how badly they miss, because if they get if they're out of it by Christmas, I think both could be gone.
Yeah,
Truly.
absolutely. Especially if they're well out of it, right? Like
Yeah.
they're 5-6-1 now, but if they're like 10-16. Then yeah, I think something changes.
Can you put up Shannon's real quick, just so we can answer it real quick? Sorry, it's at the bottom. Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, Shannon, Vanbase. Vanbase.ca is the best place where you can see that's
team store stuff.
Yes, that's the online team store. So Vanbase.ca, Shannon. Thanks, man.
Who do you think scores first? Tucker Pullman, Travis Hamonic.
Okay, on the count of 3. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Hamonic. Okay, yeah.
Pullman didn't score last year. He had 1 point last year.
And Hamonic's got a decent shot. He's got a
he's
heavy
fine.
shot. Pullman, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be Pullman.
Yeah.
Let's find
We
some
have
good
okay.
ones here. Just pick. We're gonna get picky. We're 10 minutes over almost at this point. Sharm's saying Sam Girard is apparently on the trade block. Do you think he could be a target? What do the Canucks have to give up?
Too much. Sam Girard?
I don't think the Canucks have the assets to give up to make an improvement like that, or the cap space.
Be a nice player to have.
Oh, he would be.
What the heck? Yeah, let's look him up.
I don't know what he makes.
Sam Girard, the guy with 2 first names.
He is making $5 million a year. He's actually
What?
a pretty good contract for the next 6 years, basically.
Yeah.
Year 2 of a 7-year deal.
He's only played 8 games? Oh no, Colorado's only played 9.
I think they've
or 9
only
or 10.
played a handful. Yeah. He was injured. He had an upper body injury earlier. But he plays 20 minutes a night for them. But yeah, the Canucks don't have anything to give up. They're not giving up a first round pick yet.
No.
Until they're in a playoff spot for
Yeah.
sure, right? They need to be 5 games above 500 before they think about it.
I think they should keep some of their first round picks. It'd be nice to have one once in a while.
Yeah, and we saw it with the Gillis era, right? The way it ended was, it just kind of petered out because there was no one else coming up. Like you see Boston, they've been good for so long because they have these young guys, right? After they win the Stanley Cup, then they get guys like Charlie McAvoy coming in and all these really good young players the Canucks didn't have.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something else, but the Canucks didn't have, period. Yeah.
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 Going to find some good ones. I do not live in New West. But
No, I was trying to pick a place halfway between my place and his place. Yeah.
Badabobo, who do you think leads the team in points this season? It's JT Miller just always seems to put up points no matter what.
Yeah.
So he's a good bet. He's got a 6-point gap on PD already.
If Garland doesn't get on PP1, I think it's Miller.
I think, Miller makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
But I could see Pettersson getting close if he, continues the sort of upward.
Isn't it funny? Before last night's game, PD only had 5 and 11, less than a point every 2 games. Now he's 8 out of 12, 2 out of 3. Like, what a difference!
A multi-point game.
He almost doubled his point total in one game.
Yeah, I mean, you also you look at shooting percent,
Yeah.
right? Miller's shooting at almost 20%.
That's going to come down.
Harrison's shooting at 6. That'll go up
Right.
to about 13, maybe. So yeah, it could get close.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
He's
only shooting 6%. That's bad.
5.7. Yeah, and then
Misses the net a lot.
Well, that doesn't even count those, right? This is just shots on goal.
Oh gosh.
That go in. 29% on faceoffs as well. Yikes.
You could win 30% just by falling on your butt and just like.
Yeah, I wouldn't win any in the NHL.
That's
I'm
true.
not strong enough.
That's true.
All right. Do we have any else that we want to? I got cups in my way. I can't see all the comments. We've talked about sort of the trading Miller idea last week. If you want to go back and give us more views and watch last week's, you can do that. By the way, if you guys are still here late, it's 11:10 p.m. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the little notification bell. Do all that good stuff. We do appreciate it. Anything else you want to wrap up here?
Yeah, we can. Well, we were going so good. We didn't don't do that. We didn't do haiku. We didn't do because we were answering questions about our favorite traits about each other.
Yeah, we were just.
I was too busy looking at
we were just rolling here.
We were. This was fun.
It was fun. We might do it again sometime. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us, all 80 or so of you. We really appreciate it. If you did enjoy the stream, hit like, hit subscribe. If you missed any part of it, you can rewind back to the beginning or in the morning or in about an hour from now. You can find it on your favorite podcast platform and listen there. First in-person episode. I think it went well.
Yeah, we should do it again.
Absolutely.
Like, maybe not every week, but I think...
Not every week, but every once in a while.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Special occasions.
Yes.
Awesome. I think that's it. You can find me, Parker's Pucks on YouTube, Parker's Pucks on Twitter. It's all above us. Clay, Canuck Clay, Canuck Clay.
Oh, it's opposite.
It's opposite. It's mirrored, yeah, because you don't want text to be wrong, right? You know. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you. We'll each see you, I guess, after tomorrow's game, and then we'll see you guys together in a week. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.